Hello guys, it's Christine back again, a BS Education major in English student. So for today's video, I am going to show you guys the instructional materials that I made for my final requirement and final examination of our Eduk 102 subject. So first and foremost, what is an instructional material? So an instructional material, or also known as teaching and learning materials, are often used by our teachers in their teaching and learning process. And these instructional materials helps our teacher, or like it assists them to achieve their desired learning outcomes. These instructional materials using technology are a huge help for our teachers in their teaching, especially in today's current situation, the distance learning education. So without further ado, let's begin. Using technology, the instructional materials that I made that can also be used in a face-to-face and an online class environment are an audio-visual narrated slideshow presentation and visualizations or illustrative graphics such as infographic. The instructional materials that I made are based on my Assure model lesson plan. So these instructional materials are intended for students aged 15 to 17 years old that are more likely to be passive learners who enjoy audiovisual and cognitive learning. So the first instructional material that I made is an audio-visual narrated slideshow presentation. This is somewhat similar to a PowerPoint presentation, but a whole lot better because it has an audio or like a narrative voiceover. So this type of instructional material is very useful in an online and face-to-face classes. I chose this type of instructional materials because students nowadays tend to be learning effectively when the learning material is an audio-visual. So, let me show you my audio-visual narrative slideshow presentation.
8 elements of a story. So what are the 8 elements of a story? We have setting, character, plot, conflict, theme, point of view, tone, and style. First is the setting. The setting is where and when the story takes place, the place and time of a story. We have here a sample story of Romeo and Juliet that took place in Verona, Italy, Renaissance, 15th century. Second is the character. A character is a person or an animal that are present in the story. We have here the main characters of Romeo and Juliet. The third one is the plot. Plot are events that happen in the story. It includes introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, and a resolution. Here we have the plot of Romeo and Juliet. You can pause the video and take a look. The fourth one is the conflict. Conflict is a challenge or problem in the story. The picture shows a conflict, which is the fight scene in Romeo and Juliet. The fifth one is the theme. The theme is the moral lesson of the story. The moral lesson of Romeo and Juliet is love and hate, which is to let old prejudices go and to not let emotions control one's life. The sixth one is the point of view. Point of view is who is telling the story. It can be a first, second, or third person's point of view. The point of view of Romeo and Juliet is a third-person omniscient point of view. The seventh one is the tone. It is an overall emotional tone of the story. The overall emotional tone of Romeo and Juliet is sympathetic. And the last one is style. Style is how the dialogue are said, sentence structure, and word choices of the story. The style in Romeo and Juliet is prose and verse.
So there you have it guys. I hope you learn a lot from the video and I'm hoping to see you on the next one. I made this instructional material on the app called Canva. It is an app. It is a website that also have an app. I utilized Canva when making my instructional material, and then after organizing the topic there, I proceed to the video editing app called CapCut to insert my narration. And then after that, it's done. So, how to utilize this type of instructional material? So if we're in a face-to-face class, certainly we'll need a laptop, This will be used for the teacher to prepare their audiovisual narrative slideshow presentation. Second, we'll need a projector. This will be used for the students to properly and clearly see the projection well. And third, we'll need speakers. Of course, our instructional material is an audio-visual, so definitely we'll need speakers for the students to clearly and properly hear the presentation very well, and it will help them learn more effectively. So there you have it. So the principle of cost of this type of instructional material is it doesn't cost much. I could just send the students a soft copy of it, and they would just need an internet connection to download the said material, and they could repeatedly watch the instructional materials at the comfort of their homes. So the second instructional material that I made is a visualization or illustrative graphic called infographic. This type of instructional materials can also be used in a face-to-face and online classroom. I chose this type of instructional materials because learners nowadays, they understand a certain lesson or situation more if it is presented briefly and concise with a little creativity and graphics. So let me show you the infographics that I made. So this infographic also I made on the same app, Canva. It was so easy making it because I just typed the word infographics and then many templates popped out. So I just picked the best one, and then, or like I picked the most easy to manipulate one because I still have to edit most of it, like the graphics, the color palette to appropriate ones or my desired outcome. And then after that, I organize my topic, and then it's done. So how to utilize this type of instructional material? So if you're in a face-to-face class, certainly also you'll need a laptop for you to prepare your infographic. Second, you'll need a projector for you to be able to project well your infographic and for the students to see the instructional material. Students would likely be more convenient when utilizing this infographic. They could just use their gadgets such as their cell phones, iPads, tablets, or like whatever gadgets they're using. Or if they have a printer, they can just print the said material and then utilize it. And they are lesser exposed on radiation in that way. So this is the end of the video. I am so delighted that you reached the end of my video. Thank you for keeping up with me, and see you in the next one. Bye.